everyone, welcome back to Carmen Katharine's Reefs, and today we're going to go over different alternative centers. So we just got done doing the rose. This is a smaller center, and I made a bigger pollen on the tutorial we just did. So as you can see, I have different centers. I have my love flower center, I have my magnolia center, I have my water lily center, I have my enchanted yellow daisy center, and then I have an alternative center for the sunshine reef. That one has beads in the center. That's the original I made, and then this is the alternative one I have over here with the beads in it. So we're going to go over some basics. So I'm going to do the beginners for centers, because there is a whole nother one, another level, and it's a process. So I'm going to start y'all off with easy ones, the do's and the don'ts, and then I'm going to make another tutorial soon, not in the next couple days, of the harder centers. I am going to make my next flower is going to be on the daisy, my yellow enchanted daisy. I introduce a new fold in it to get it so skinny, and it's not it's something I came up with, and I'll show you guys. And yes, they are all doubles, and I'll show you how it lays so it's not sticking up in the way and everything. Now daisies are going to lay a little bit out, but that will be another tutorial as well. So everybody's making a really big deal about my magnolia one, this one. So this is the one I'm going to start with, and this is actually not that hard. It's a process. It takes about 2 days to make, to be honest with you. So I use your craft pine cones, okay? And what you're going to do is, in order to make that center, it's going to take about 3/4, almost a whole bag, just to get it like this. And you're not going to lay them in, you're not going to have them straight sitting up in the air all the way around. We're not going to do that. You are going to lay them, and then you're going to glue them on, and you're going to form them around. You want them roundish. You don't want them all the way around in uniform center, going completely around. That's not how you form your round centers. So you're going to curve them on. What you're going to do is you're going to you can either, I paint everything. So you're going to start off with the colors you want, any colors, and I'm going to show you different ones. This one is, your yellow and white. So what I do, and this is going to sound funny, but I literally take white primer spray paint and I spray this on, and it's going to take 3 coats to get it nice and covered. Then what you're going to do after that dries, and your glue and everything's going to dry, is you are going to take your yellows, and I use the regular yellow and the daffodil yellow, and you are going to paint it. You're going to let that dry again. And that takes about 6 to 7 hours to dry, because you're going to coat this. And it takes 2 coats of paint to get it like that. Then we're going to take our pollen beads that we're all learning about. And you can look at my daffodil tutorial and the tutorial I just did on the rose to learn how to make these. You're going to take pieces of pollen, and I don't make them really big on this one. You're going to take little pieces, you're going to let it dry, and you can make them as small or as long as you want. I like it this size, to be honest. That's how we get the little pollens and my other centers as well. And you're going to it's a lot of glue, guys, a lot. You're going to take your glue gun, and you're going to go around it. I take my scissors, and you're going to actually keep your stuff on, because you're going to paint it again. You're going to put it on it. Be very careful you don't get burned. And you're going to press it into the center. And this is very repetitious. Very. And you're going to keep doing that all the way around. And you're going to add as much as you want or as little. I always go with the light yellow, and I go with the darker yellow because there's 2 shades of yellow. If you're using white, you're going to have to hand paint every single pollen when you make this. Now, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about pollen beads. So, people are buying pollen beads from these sellers that we really don't know too much about because they're cheap. Well, the cheaper they are, the more the dye and the more they bleed. And what happens is, with these centers, when it rains, it bleeds all over your mesh. All over your mesh, your burlap, whatever you're using, it's going to bleed on. And it's going to discolor it. So, you need, I do Serrano's Crafts. They've been around forever. That's who I use. Also, if you're going to go, and some people are thinking that your beanbag fillers are pollen. Well, they are made of foam. However, they are way, way too big. You're going to have to cut them almost in 4s to get them as small as we have them, or more. Some of them are even bigger than that. This is your mini beads that I use. The ones I really like that people have stopped making is your micro mini. Those are where I get the really pretty teeny tiny pollen. I do have a supplier I found. I'm going to check it out, see if how it works, and then I'll introduce it to you guys if I like it. So you're going to go all the way around, and you see how it's starting to look really, really pretty. And I'm going to go over this. So we use medium white string, and you're going to cut it. I'm going to put this one on there since it's already got a little bit on it. You're going to cut it, and you're going to put it on. Hold on. Sorry there. Okay. So we're going to take a medium white string, and we are going to cut this. This is about the length you want it. Be very careful you don't burn yourself, please. Then we're going to take it, put a little bit of glue, put it into your beads. I just went over this with everybody on my other one, but I'm going to show you guys a little bit more so you see what I'm doing. That forms your pollen. Then you're going to take your glue gun. You're going to put some glue on. You're going to put your pollen on there. So, some people think, oh, we can just throw it on there. Not if you want it to look realistic. So, I have used it where I just put a little bit on there. Look, I'm going to show you for instance, because this one messed up on me. So, if you don't form your pollen, all you're going to have on here is little beads. And that doesn't look very realistic. You want it little teeny weeny pollens all through it. So then when you're done forming this, you're going to cut off your little ends. And you are going to cut them, the ones you don't need. Some of them can stay on, not very much. So you're going to cut them all the way around. Sorry. I hope everyone's having a good night tonight. So it's been so muggy here. All the kids are getting sick. Our grandbabies, all kinds of stuff. Time to get out all those dehumidifiers. So you're going to go all the way around with this. And you're going to fill in all your little gaps. You want it to just pop. You know, people are going to say, wow, what is that made of? Nobody's going to really guess because you're going to have all this pollen and everything on it. It's not going to look like, oh, she just threw pine cones on there and paint. Nope. You're giving it more detail. So please be careful with your scissors as well. I don't want anybody to get cut. So caution on that. So see how it's starting to form? Now you're going to take your acrylic gloss. And this is the thing I am just going to stress about with everybody. you're not going to take a little bit and let it dry. You are going to saturate that baby because you don't want it to run on there, and it gives it a hard shell so it locks in your color. It doesn't ruin your fabric. It doesn't run. It's waterproof. You want to saturate it. It is going to take a little bit over 24 hours to dry because you're going to completely, when I mean saturate, it needs to be white. You need to cover it like paste. It dries clear. It gives it a hard shell. Now, I use the gloss finish. You can get the matte finish. They sell that too. You're going to go through the whole entire thing, and you're going to let it dry. There's not much you can do after you're done. And then when this is all done, that's what you get. You get my magnolia center up there when it's all completely dry and ready to go. Okay, so we did our pine cone center on this one. Now, when you go to your multicolored pine cone center, which is going to be your love flower, this takes, you're going to alternate your colors on your string. You make your pollen. I have 5 different colors on there. And I actually only use 4 little pollen beads to make that. So this takes a lot more time to do. A lot of time. So I know everybody just got done watching the rose tutorial. So I did want you to see again, this is your small pollen, that's your big pollen. It does make a difference in the way it looks. It's usually, I leave it up to the customer how they like it. And then I make it from there. And you learn to close rows. Okay, so this is your don't. This is your smooth. Smooth, when you paint your center and it does this, it's going to be smooth. Guess what? When it rains, it's going to fall right off. It's not going to stick. It's not going to stay. That's a don't. When you paint your disc, it's going to have little bumps on it. This is what we want. It's going to be rougher on edge. These are the ones you want to use. So this is your don't. No fabric glue. So I saw foam glue too. I use the foam glue, I use the fabric glue and the liquid. This is what it comes out to. And it does slip off. It's a mess. It's a pain. And it really stinks. It made me sick. The smell did. So I also found fabric adhesive spray. Super for foam. Super expensive. And it doesn't work the trick on your pollen beads. So, as we know, you're going to form your base for your pollen. I'll put this up real quick. Give me a second. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show you. Your pollen beads do come in different colors, but when you are working with, if you dye them or you're buying from a cheaper place because they only make the colors you want, if you watch, it's going to mess, it's going to discolor. Really didn't do it there, but it does. There we go. See? That's what I mean by dye. It's going to discolor and it runs. So if you're using 2, like a brown and a black, you're good to go. So I'm going to show you. So this is the one everybody is going crazy over. So I use burnt umber for my daisy center. And I want you guys to save this center because I'm going to make a tutorial sometime this week, hopefully, on the daisy. And like I said before, it is different folds. There's 3 folds I use on that particular flower. So I just made her. I need a trimmer. So, so you're going to paint this with your burnt umber, which is right here. Or you can use chocolate. I don't use the nutmeg. Nutmeg is a little bit lighter. So it's all up to you and your customer. So what I'm going to show you is I am out of brown. So I'm going to use some white. I take my paper plate. Now I'm trying to do this as easy as possible for everyone. So with your flat disc, this works out. With your round ones, it's a little more difficult. So I found that the hot glue is the one thing that I see that stays on. And you know how I made the little pollen earlier? You can make pollen and put on this too, because I do put a little bit of pollen on a string on this as well. So you're going to go all the way around. Please, please be careful. And you are just going to stick it in your beads. Grab this. And you are going to layer this. We are going to go all the way around this. Like I said, I tried that foam adhesive spray. It just didn't work. And the foam liquid glue. And that's just too pasty. It just knots it up. This actually does it justice. So we do one more layer, but I use the black on top. So I'm going to show you what I use. Oops, I'm sorry. That's okay. Sorry, Ginger. I didn't see you there, sweetheart. I'm sorry. See, we never know where my dogs are. My little babies. So I use the burnt umber. So it's nice, pretty dark brown. We're going to take your little spongy, because you're going to blot it. I'm going to blot it all the way around. Kind of painting this on this. You're just going to, when you do your clear, I do, but with the brown, I blot it. So once that's done drying, what I do is I put another layer of glue, and then I sprinkle it with the black, or you can sprinkle it with the brown. I'm out of brown. So again, you are going to use your acrylic gloss, and you are going to coat this baby. You coat it till it's completely white. Takes a little bit over a day to dry. And that's how you make your daisy center. I'm going to put that over here with the other ones. So now I have this. This is what it looks like after it's done drying. Nice and shiny. It's got a hard seal to it. It's waterproof. The dye's not going to go all over your fabric. I did this one in a white. I painted it white, let it dry, and then I applied my beads and I coated it. So we are going to do one in blue today. So just like I did with our disc, let's see, I want to do it in blue and, I'm trying to think, blue and, pick a color. So, oh, it does come in multicolor too, which is really pretty for like Easter. I've used Easter colors. So let's do blue and a rose color, because we have a couple more over here. Or what about, sorry, I love mixing colors. Sorry about that, y'all. I'm going to do blue and green. So we're going to put a little bit of blue down. Now this is, the circles are a little more repetitious because you have a whole circle and you're going completely around. And you can't just sit there and stick the disc in. So what I do is I do the center first. Oh. Doing so many centers at once. I need to clean this thing. So I get my glue gun from Lowe's. Lowe's has a great craft glue gun. It works for wood and crafts. For some reason, Be careful though, because I have burnt myself and got second-degree burns from this thing. It heats really well. So you're going to go ahead and apply your beads on. So you're going to go all the way around. Let me show you with the small balls because it's easier. For me it is. So once you get your color, and listen, the way I'm doing it is better than sprinkling it on 20 million times just to get it to coat really well, like I have to do here. So you're going to go all the way around this, and it takes probably 2 coats of this. You might get it in one. So then you're going to take the color you're mixing it with, and I said I was going to do green. We're going to do some small balls so I can show you with the smaller one where it doesn't take as long. You're going to spot it. And make sure this is dry before you do this. Spot it, and then we're going to take a little bit at a time. Now these are easy centers, guys. This is really, really easy, by the way. Very, very basic, very easy. You're going to do this all the way around it. And then what you're going to do with this is you're going to seal that baby. You're going to use your acrylic, paste it on, and let it dry. And once again, it takes a whole day or more for it to dry. So this is our finished product. Some of each color. They're still drying some. I also did a blue wish flower with the blue and green so everybody could see what the finished product looks like on Carmen's Enchanted Flowers. I will see you guys and soon, not tomorrow and not in 2 days, but soon, save your daisy center because the next tutorial will be on the daisy. Have a nice day, everybody.